I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know that the Pleasant Hill Chamber is proud and honored to host this breakfast. It's the most informative event of the year and exciting for those of you who want to know what's happening in Pleasant Hill at the center of everything. Thank you to Chef Susan for the breakfast. It's wonderful. Also, thank you Ryan Harriman, Kendra Diamond, and the staff here at Senior Center. We appreciate your accommodating us. And I want to give a big shout out and a thank you, and I don't do it enough, and that is to my staff at the Pleasant Hill Chamber. I'm so happy to say the staff at the Pleasant Hill Chamber, Ramona McIntyre and Tina Trom. I'd like to kick off this morning by asking Sergeant Travis Diamond from the 483rd Transportation Battalion of the United States Army to come forward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis, for your service and for being here this morning. Now I would like to introduce the Pleasant Hill Chamber's Chair of the Board in her second year as board chair, Julie McCoy.
Thank you all for getting out of bed early this morning and joining us here for a great event, a stressful event. Stressful because I don't see any wine glasses out there. That means I need to make sense because you're actually listening. Quite scary. The Chamber has been extremely busy this past year. We have exceeded our own expectations with our programs, events, and great value to our members and the community we are so proud to be part of. We are partnering with many of you and especially would like to thank our community impact partners. I would like to introduce our Chamber Board of Directors who are in attendance today. As I call your name, please stand, and to the crowd, you know this drill well, please hold your applause until they are all standing. Chris Thomas, Mike Robertson, Yvonne Cerisa, Susan Hurl, Bruce Jobson, Heather Schiffman, Jennifer Voss, Angela Warren, Joe Stokely, and Lawrence Mykowski. Now I would like to acknowledge our elected officials who are here today. Representing District 4 Supervisor Carrie Mitchoff is Lisa Chow. Thank you. From the Contra Costa Sanitary District, a board member, Mike McGill. Pleasant Hill Recreation and Park District Board of Directors, Chair Zach Schess. Vice Chair Dennis Donahue. And board members Sandra Bonato, Sherry Sterrett, and Bobby Glover. City Manager June Catalano. And Pleasant Hill City Council members David Durant. I forgot to introduce you last year. Do you remember? I do. It haunts me every night, so I had to get you down first this year. Okay, I'm glad we're good. Tim Flaherty. Ken Carlson. Vice Mayor Michael Harris. And of course, a gal you'll be hearing a lot about today, Sue Noack, our mayor. We live in an amazing city with remarkable leaders, and I'm honored to be introducing Mayor Noack today. Sue was elected 108 days ago and took office 81 days ago. I did the math 3 times, in case you feel like checking my work. We can't measure all her feats in days, though. 17 years ago, Sue figured out that Pleasant Hill was the best place to live and has called it home since. Prior to that, she earned her bachelor's in business administration from Bucknell University, her MBA from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, and devoted years to several banking institutions, with each title more impressive than the last. Sue grew up in Connecticut, where she was born into a family involved in civic activities, started at a young age, and has never stopped. Since leaving the corporate world in 2007, Sue co-founded the Foundation for Pleasant Hill Education, where she has served as treasurer, grant chair, and organizer of the Amazing Race, a competition I participated in and absolutely loved. I didn't win. I didn't even come in second or third, but I did talk about it for weeks because it truly was one of my favorite events, and I thank Sue for making it happen. Sue has also served as president of Strandwood Elementary's PTA and Pleasant Hill Middle School PTSA. She chaired the 2010 Measure C Bond Oversight Committee, served on Pleasant Hill Rotary, and coached numerous baseball and soccer teams for her son Will and his classmates. In fact, it was on a baseball team when I met Sue. She hosted our year-end party in her fantastic backyard with a hillside pool, one you should check out at times, a little jealous. So now you know I'm competitive from the Amazing Race, jealous of Sue's pool, but this day isn't about me, it's about Sue. Sue is my friend, she's an amazing supporter of the Chamber of Commerce as well. I thank her husband Charlie for sharing her with us, because the amount of hours Sue dedicates to the city, the schools, and the community is incredible. I feel lucky to know her. Will you please help me in welcoming Mayor Sue Noack?
So sad. No, we gotta do. I just want to say this. I got up this morning and got dressed early so I could be here on time. Got my son's lunch ready. He's 14. Came downstairs, told my husband, "Can you stay a little later this morning?" Because he normally leaves around 6:30. He's like, "Sure." "What meeting do you have this morning?" I thought, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So. He's like, "Will they videotape it for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." There was one additional introduction. Bill Dodd, there you are. Sorry we missed you earlier. And I'm going to introduce the city staff before we move on to the next piece. So you met June Catalano. She stood already. But if stand again and stay standing until I'm done with all the city staff, that'd be great. Andrew Murray, Assistant City Manager, Janet Colson, City Attorney. John Moore, Chief of Police. Where is he? Oh, yeah, there he goes. He's out in the back. Trouble in the parking lot, John? Sorry. Brian Hill, Police Captain. Mike Nielsen, Chief Building Official. Is Mike? I didn't see Mike. Greg Foos, City Planner, also in the back, checking out the building. Mary McCarthy, Finance Manager. Kelly Calhoun, Economic Development Manager. Daniela Haber, Senior Management Analyst. Mark Nealis, Public Information Officer. Wow. Lynn King, Chief Technology Officer. Ericu, Senior Civil Engineer. And Juanita Davalos, Executive Assistant, without who we would not exist at all. Thanks. So now I'm going to make you wait a little bit longer, and I'm going to ask Zach Shess to come up and give an update on Rec and Park before I get started.
Hi, everybody. I'm Zach Shess. Just so you know, for the record, with heels and coifted hair here, I'm about 6 feet tall. And arguably the tallest Shess in the family. That we were bred to, you can tell, to pull things, not to be tall. And so how do we just like that? So yeah. Anyway, thank you for being here. I did not get out of bed early for this. I got up normal, and I was saved from the soul-sucking commute to Pleasanton that I usually have. So thank you to Mayor Sue for having me here and representing the district. My cohorts, who I completely forgot last year, I want to acknowledge my vice chair, Dennis Donahue, Sandra Bonato, Sherry Starrett. I'm glad you guys are here today. Robert Ryan Glover, our other chair, our other board member is unavailable today. So anyway, just real quick, I want to talk about financial accomplishments. Obviously, when you talk about these beautiful facilities and you talk about a rising economy, the district right now is in pretty good shape financially. We ended the year with a profit of about $248,000 compared to a profit of about $53,000 the year before. So in real money, that's $370% increase, which I thought was pretty amazing. Our tax revenue obviously has gone up as well, which is reflecting the good economy, and that increased 8% over the prior fiscal year. So it's a good time to be at the district, and we're very thankful. And currently it's trending for the current year as well. We have profits that are up. Our programming revenue is doing great. It's up 13% so far this fiscal year, and our revenue from taxes is tracking about the same. So, I don't know if you're like me, I got a little, when I saw the property tax bill this year, I kind of, a little bit. So if you had a similar feeling in Pleasant Hill, thank you for taking one for our team to help fund our facilities and our programming. So thank you. I know it's not the it's not the cheapest place to live here in Pleasant Hill, but it's obviously a fantastic place to be. So next is our rental revenue growth. I mean, look around. This place is fantastic. And so these have obviously, between our programming and our rentals, our facilities, the community center, senior center, they've all been very well received. Our programming revenue overall was up in our fiscal year over $600,000, which is a 22% increase, and it's continuing to track up like that. And that's a credit to our staff as well as the community as well, who's been very well received. Who have received it very well. And through the 6 months, our facilities are continuing to grow revenue at a pretty rapid pace, and it's up 31% just in this fiscal year. So we're really thrilled about that. So like I said, from the rental coordinator who brings it all in to our building facilities people to keep it looking shiny, I give a lot of credit to our staff, and I thank them for doing all that they do. And finally, I just put our teen center. We've had a teen center, as you probably know, for about 3 years now, and we had never done a teen center before, right? We didn't know how this thing was going to go, what do we charge, all those things, but it's obviously been a big success due to a large part to Katrina Hahn. Where are you? There you are. Hey. So shout out to Katrina and her staff. But it's not just the teens. Preschool has been our tot time morning care is we went it's up to 5 days a week now. It's packed. Our preschool is at capacity. It's just not the little kids, and it's obviously, as we're here in the senior center, it's not just it's seniors too. We have over, I think, close to 2,000 senior members here in this facility. 2,000. And also, and why are they here? They're here because of the dozens of programs that they get that are here. Some, many of which are free due to sponsorships and partnerships we have with organizations. So. And they're here because of Kendra Diamond. Kendra Diamond. Where are you? Where are you, by the way? Oh, hi. Hi. Okay. Thank you. Here's a stat that I got that I was really impressed about. We had over 200 volunteers here at the Senior Center that have provided over 30,000 volunteer hours in the last year. Is that right, Kendra? Last year? 30,000 volunteer hours in the last year. Does that sound about right? Holy cow. Anyway. So, new goals. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this in a minute. Bob Bergeron, our GM. Bob, where are you? Bob had the nerve to leave us. He had the nerve to retire. So anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. But we obviously, we need to replace him by June 1. So if you know anybody. Also, we've also commissioned a reserve study to be able to figure out, how we're going to, we have all these wonderful facilities, not only how are we going to keep these maintained, but also have enough money for the rainy day fund when maybe the economy again goes south. So we've commissioned that, we've finished it, and now we just kind of need to implement it. And so why do we need to implement that? One of the reasons is I've already mentioned, but we also have some older facilities and some infrastructure that's not, needs some help. I know as beautiful as the park is out there, we have some walkways that need a little love. They're going to get fixed soon, and also we have a pool deck, and that pool's old because I learned how to swim in it. So anyway, enough said on that one. So that needs to be replaced as well. And then also we have an old schoolhouse over by Pleasant Hill Elementary, and obviously the Winslow Center has a limited lifespan as well. So those reserves are going to be really key to help fund those. The Oak Park property. Can't talk a whole lot about this, but I just wanted to let you know that this is something we're working on right now at the moment. We'll see what happens. In the last few months ago, the county had some surplus property they declared over at the Oak Park Elementary site, and we expressed interest in it. And it's why? Well, we're a park district, right? And so it's something where we wanted to. See if we could put some parks or some ball fields there. So we expressed some interest. Still ongoing, and we'll see what happens. So we'll keep you posted on that. Negotiations are they're still moving along. So. Yeah. Okay, this is a surprise. I didn't know this slide was going to be in here. This brings me to Bob. Damn, you were a handsome man back then. I mean, you still are. So Bob Bergeron has been our general manager since August 1st, 1987, I believe was Bob's first day. I was a college kid driving a Chevy Nova at San Jose State, and you were the GM of the district. Holy cow. All right, 40 years. He started as a rec supervisor in 1976, and May 31st is his last day. And I think we all know, at least in the district, and I think many of you in the community know what Bob means to us. He's not dying, but he's leaving us. So it's a goodbye, but it's a see you later. But anyway, Bob, stand up. I want these people to give you some love. We'll be talking more about you later. Anyway, just to wrap up, these are some of the events, the bigger events that we have coming up. Come Together Concert 6 next week. It's fantastic. Paul Katruva puts together a great list of bands, so I encourage you to come on out, I believe, next week. Wine, Women, and Shoes, obviously, in May, our third annual to benefit Northern California Rehabilitation Services. Woo! And then the egg hunt, bring your kids, bring your grandkids, bring your nieces, nephews, and obviously Blues and Brews, which we work with the Chamber on, and that's right out there on July 16th. And there you go, there's some more fun, and thank you very much for your time.
Got to get my notes. I hope I printed it large enough so I could see without putting my glasses, but I do have them, so. Thank you, Zach. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks for so many of you being here. It's great to have so many friendly faces out there even though my husband clearly couldn't be here. I hope everybody's had coffee, because I'm going to start with financials and don't want to bore you to tears. I think there's still left if you find you need some through this. We're going to start with the city's revenues. Budgeted for fiscal 2015-2016 is about 21.16. I think we could have shortened that up to 21.2, but 21.16 million. As you can see, nearly 40% derives from sales tax revenues. Very important to this city, sales tax revenues, and that's why the chamber is so important to us. 1% of that 8.5% tax that you pay on sales when you purchase things in Pleasant Hill comes to the city, and that's what a lot of our revenues are driven off of. Then you have property tax at 2.45 million, and a couple other categories, business license fees. I'm not going to go through the whole item by item, but you can see where the main sources of revenues are. Just to highlight the sales tax and property tax revenues for the city, this is a chart going back to 2008-9, and I wanted to go back that far so that you can see the impact that the economy has on the city's revenues. So you see during the Great Recession, the dip from 2008-9 to through 2010-11. And property tax dipped as well, just not as dramatically. And that can impact city services pretty significantly. We'll be talking a little bit later. I just wanted to bring this up and so you can see the dip and see the impact to the city's revenues so that you understand some of the surplus and reserves we hold as a result of this. The top 25 sales tax producing businesses represent 53% of our revenues. That's an enormous number. Some of the names you know well: Safeway, Best Buy, Jack's. There's a lot of great restaurants and a lot of great stores in this town, and we keep encouraging people to shop Pleasant Hill, and we'll keep encouraging you to do that. We do get turnover, though, on occasion, as you can imagine, and as a result, here are some of the new businesses from 2015. Kate's, which I understand is great. I have not been there yet. Siren's Sandwich Shop, Dollar Store More, Man's Pizza, S&G Carpet, Vitality Bowls, which is one of my go-to dinners when I don't have time for much else, and Orchard Supply Hardware, which I have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow morning to do a chainsaw cutting or something. So I thought today was bad. Tomorrow is really gonna be something. I know. I do want to note one other new business, but it really qualifies for 2016, is Wise Girl. We were there last night for the ribbon cutting. And the old Dalamonte's restaurant, you guys have all got to go see it. It's really incredible. So now what do we use all that money to do? I'm not keeping up here with my notes, sorry, I'm going off the slides instead. A large portion of our revenues go to pay for the police. Where's my chief? Did he disappear again? Oh, there you are, you're back, okay. The police department represents about 44% of our expenditures. But obviously very important to keep our city safe, and they do a fantastic job, and we're really thrilled to have Brian Hill join us from Walnut Creek. I think we stole him from Walnut Creek to help with the police force here. Public Works and Planning represents about 15%, but while that actually seems pretty small compared to all the things being done, that group is really great on leveraging the money that we have with grants to just do a lot of work around the city, and I'll have some slides a little later on showing you what they've been able to accomplish with that. And then maintenance is 10%, which is what keeps our city looking so nice and clean. And then you see all the other small pieces of the pie. So here is, I'm going to refer back to those sales tax revenues. Here's our revenues versus expenditures from 2008 to 2016. Again, you can see that dip, and some needed cost cutting had to be done during the Great Recession. And then when the economy came back up, we had a couple of great years with some great revenue years versus our expenditures. So now you see the last year and you say, oop, expenditures are way over revenues. And that's true, but that's planned. And I want to go into that just a little bit. Here's the city's fund balance and reserve. Our intent is to maintain an $8.3 million reserve for financial crisis, significant economic downturns. This will allow us to make sure that we're able to continue to provide the services that the city needs to do. But as you can see, at the end of 2014-15, our surplus was up to about $14 million. So we felt it was really important to use those things to address some of the economic, I wouldn't say challenges, but opportunities in this city. And so we decided to use some of that surplus on some of those needed items. And here's where it's going to. First is funding library hours on Monday. 2 years ago, that was it was put in the budget, funding Monday hours, and that has become its most popular day at the library. I think what's the number? 1,200 people a day coming to the library. 1,600. Okay, now we're up. I was there the other morning to drop something off with Patrick, and I couldn't find a parking spot, and it was because over 300 kids or families had shown up for story time. Couldn't even get into the library, so it's just become super popular. Anyway, so we felt it was important to continue those Monday hours. Then we have about $1.35 million additional going for street repairs. Chuck has been on the traffic commission and has been on for 37 years, and so that was the loud cheer in the back there. In addition, nearly $500,000 going to improve our storm drain system. Both of these have some significant deferred maintenance balances on them, and we need to address, and so additional money has gone there as well. The ongoing expenditures is insurance premiums and some other smaller dollar items. As a result of the building surplus and our revenue base, City Council decided to do a long-term plan this past year. And yeah, that's probably a lot of numbers for anybody to look at. Being a financial person, I love this stuff, but I can understand everybody else glazing over. What this does is this is what we call our preferred service level. We did an optimistic, a pessimistic, and then your moderate, what you really expect, and that's what this one shows. You will see the negative numbers at the bottom, and that's because we plan on continuing to spend the money on the streets and the storm drain systems to address the maintenance that needs to be caught up on a bit. Those deficits go away in the latter years, and that's because debt that the city has, one for City Hall and two for pension obligation, are fully paid off. And so that deficit will go away in the last 2 years, but we'll be able to continue to spend money on our streets and our storm drain system. In addition, everybody always see lots of stuff on unfunded pension liabilities, and Pleasant Hill has unfunded pension liabilities, as does anybody. At $23.4 million at the beginning of the year, those long-term financial plans include our additional contributions that we need to make to reduce that unfunded pension liability, and you see by the end of the term here, we're down to $14 million. It's paid off, I believe, over 30 years. So for us, it was great to do this long-term plan to see that there's more than sufficient money to address the financial things we need to do, streets, storm drains, pay our expenditures, but also cover the unfunded pension liability obligations that we do have. Now, really fun stuff, ordinances. This past year, we got, I think, 4 key ordinances done. First one was adopting an ordinance to address massage establishments. Now, massage establishments are required to get a police permit to operate, and this ordinance also allowed for the denial of a permit if there was criminal activity on that location within the last 5 years. So hopefully this keeps our massage parlors as massage parlors. That's the best I could do on wording on that. Second one was a smoking ordinance. This prohibits smoking in all commercial areas of Pleasant Hill except for designated smoking areas. So hopefully everybody will be breathing cleaner air as they walk around town and shop Pleasant Hill. Third one, marijuana cultivation. I almost brought my son to that city council meeting, and then I realized what was on the agenda, and I thought, maybe not. He's 14, that's a little too early for him on that discussion. Anyway, the city council adopted the ordinance regulating the cultivation of marijuana and limiting to 3 plants indoors or outdoors per qualified patient per parcel. So that's it. And there's some other limitations to keep it from, wafting over to your backyard or things like that. And then the last one, a zoning ordinance amendment allowing more flexibility for business uses in our light industrial area. And we'll talk a little bit more about that light industrial area later on. But this was important to be able to attract more businesses and make it a little easier for to people to move into that area. Now I got fun pictures. Capital improvement projects. I won't go into these now because you'll just see pictures of them here. So Contra Costa Boulevard, hopefully you've all seen the improvements on Contra Costa Boulevard. That totaled $4.6 million between local funds and grants. A lovely improvement. I think it's spectacular. Geary Road enhancement, that was in partnership with Walnut Creek. And that was a $10 million project, also with grant and local funds. This is a new southern gateway at the intersection of Pleasant Hill Road and Geary Road. This was completed as part of that Geary project, also using grant and local funds. Golf Club Road Bridge Replacement Project. I think this was completed just recently. It's $7.3 million with grants and local funds. Really nice addition to the city. And citywide street resurfacing, a lot of the crosswalks, new pavement being done. Hopefully it makes it a lot more visible and safe for pedestrians crossing. $1.8 million in local funds. Upcoming projects. We're going to repaint City Hall. I finally actually walked around closer the other day because somebody said it really needs it. And I thought, really? I hadn't noticed it. But I walked around and I thought, okay, I'm seeing that now. $237,000 of local funds will be used to repaint City Hall starting this summer. These are sidewalk projects, which is great, especially on Eleonora and also on Boyd. And that will be starting in late spring. Contra Costa Boulevard roadway enhancement, median and commercial frontage. Also beginning this summer, it's going to be a very busy summer, $3.4 million in grants and local funds. Golf Club Road, Old Quarry Road, we're going to have our first little roundabout, which will be very neat, yeah. And this is going in near the new, the renovated DVC Plaza, so hopefully that will help with traffic around there. Next exciting thing that was done last year was our gateway enhancement project. I don't know how many of you are all familiar with those pagodas. One of my amazing races, we made everybody go out and find the 11 pagodas that we had in the city. I didn't even know where they were, and even with a map, I couldn't find them all. But anyway, those were in need of replacement. And we spent a great deal of time working on this project. There were 10 public meetings, focus groups, to work on different ideas and projects. And it's a little hard to see this, but this is, I'll show you a larger picture of the big sign, but the wayfinding signs will also go all up around town to be able to better identify how to get to City Hall, how to get to the key sites in Pleasant Hill. Here is a larger view of what the signs will look like that replace the pagodas. It doesn't really do it justice. The burnt orange piece is Corten steel, and it sort of looks like rusted steel, but it's a really neat look and will look great against all the greenery that we have. And brushed stainless steel image on the panel, and that's meant to be Dinosaur Hill along with the mountains behind it. So very exciting, and those should start being put in this summer, I believe. Going back to the light industrial area, one of the economic development projects we did was having a study done to look at the limited industrial area, figuring out how we could bring them better into the city and make them more identifiable. And one of that is placemaking. And so these are renderings of what potentially could go into that Hookston area to identify it, bringing in the Hookston station, the old train station theme here. All right. One of my focuses is better communication, and before I knew it, this is put together. This is a mobile app. I put this on the moment I heard about it, and it's really neat. It's a mobile app, Ask Phil, and it's got easy access to city staff when you have questions or requests. It has widgets to get you to different places on our website. A really neat app, so if you don't have it, I'm seeing puzzled faces at it. Joe, you haven't seen this yet? You should have had this on your phone by now. Anyway, a really neat feature, and I suggest everybody download it as soon as possible. It's really a cool feature and a little easier to use than trying to do our website on your phone. And speaking of website, we will be working on a website redesign and upgrade over the next 3 months. And this will hopefully make it more functional, more aesthetically pleasing, and generally improve the performance and user friendliness of our website. Festivals and events, you saw a handful from Zach, and I'm not going to list them all here. These are events that are put on by a number of different organizations, the city, our Civic Action Commission, the Chamber, Rec and Park District, but we have tons of events here with hundreds of volunteers. It's fascinating. I go to a elected women's luncheon once a month, and I can't tell you, every time I am there, somebody has to come up and ask me how we build such a great community. And a lot of it has to do with all these great community events we have, and where so many people in this town and area are able to get together and just spend some enjoyable time together. I don't think any town can catch up to us on that, even though they're going to try to mimic us as I keep explaining how we do this, or how I think we're doing this. One of the things that I wanted to note today was talking about our city commissions and civic organizations. We have a number of city commissions. Planning Commission, we have a planning commissioners. Handful of you are here. 1, 2, almost the whole group's here. Planning commissioners, Civic Action Commission, we have quite a few people here. Commission on Aging, Traffic Safety. There are about 40 people, and these are all voluntary positions, and they don't get enough thanks for all the work they do behind the scenes. They're just unspoken heroes of this community. So I wanted to thank them for that. We also have a lot of nonprofit and other organizations in this town that also contribute significantly. I'll give a plug to mine first, Foundation for Pleasant Hill Education. But we have thank you. We have the Community Foundation as well. We have Rotary and Lions Clubs, which also are tremendous. We have so many organizations that participate in this community on a volunteer basis. Even going back to my PTA days, I think we logged maybe 46,000 hours, I think, in a year of volunteer time. So the amount of volunteers that step up to help this community is just tremendous. And Rogers Ranch. Yes, thank you. Sorry. Forgot, yes, okay. Sorry, I forgot you guys there for a minute. But Rogers Ranch, also a tremendous group, and the activities there have grown tremendously, which I love. I want to give a special shout out to the Library Task Force of Friends of the Library, who I've been working with through the Library Task Force. And what a great organization that is. And I'm hoping we've been working diligently, I think, for 20 months now, and hopefully in the next couple of years are able to get a new library for the city. Get a little better space for that story time so Patrick can continue to spin his incredible stories. What I want to leave you with is a video that Patrick put together. It's his artwork and his narration, and I think this is just a perfect example of the creativity that we're thinking about in putting a new library together.
The library is a treehouse. I don't know if you had a treehouse when you were a kid. Mine was really just a few boards nailed into an elm. But that didn't matter at all to me because that treehouse was the most special, secret, magical place in the world. You climb up there and it's like a different planet or a castle or an invisible realm, and the only rules are the ones you make up. But it's just a bunch of 2x4s, and still it's a magical place because you make it so. I think libraries are like that. All the shelves of books are just 2x4s, unless you bring your own daydreams. My name is Patrick Reamer. I'm the Senior Community Library Manager at the Pleasant Hill Library.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you all sitting and listening, and thank you for all your participation in this great community. And I look forward to seeing you at all these many activities this year, and I'll be staying around for a little while if people have questions. Okay? Thank you.
That concludes this morning's breakfast, but thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you next year.